friends of Revista Cine. Today I have the opportunity to talk with Mr. Ben Chanan, writer and director of the Lionsgate Plus original series, The Capture. Hello, Ben. Greetings from Bogota, Colombia. It's very nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
Well, first of all, congratulations for this excellent show. I binge watched the first season. I had the opportunity to watch the first four episodes of the second season. So I really liked it. I loved all the twists and turns that you put into the plot. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time creating theories of what might come next. So it was a great detective-like experience.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Well, I have a few questions that I'm going to ask you now. So in the first season, you directed all the episodes, but in this season, James Kent and Philippa Langdale shared the director's chair. What changes can we expect from their contribution to the series narrative?
Well, Philippa and James did an incredible job, and they kept. I'm always amazed when different directors can kind of keep the same tone and keep the same quality level across a season, and so they certainly didn't disappoint. They both brought different details, but I think the key thing when you're creating a series is to all pull together and kind of deliver the same tone. I think it's weird. Audiences don't like it when a series suddenly switches tone, even between seasons, but let alone in the middle of a season. They're just both very experienced, competent directors who the actors trusted, and that's what I needed from them. But I was very glad. Writing and directing 6 episodes is quite a challenge. So I was quite happy to share the responsibility second time around.
Of course, of course. So nowadays, social media is a huge part of our life. But after watching the show, I couldn't help to feel insecure, imagining that we might be under surveillance all the time through our phones or government CCTV. So while you created the concept of the series, did it change your perspective on dealing with social media and their privacy issues?
I'm not really on social media, so make of that what you will. I think you're absolutely right to be paranoid, I'm afraid. I think I don't know what it's like across Latin America. I'm sure it's slightly different from country to country and city to city. London is one of the most heavily surveyed cities in the world. I think it's the second only to Shanghai. At least it was when I was writing it. And I think that some cities across America, Chicago, New York, they're sort of catching up. I think it's sometimes a shock to people to realize just the number of CCTV cameras there are in big metropolises. And even people who live in London, what I was amazed about when I made the first series, even people who live in London and the UK who live under the gaze of cameras constantly aren't really aware of it. So yeah, it certainly has helped. Those people who watch the show have certainly become more aware of it, for sure.
Great. I actually am a little paranoid because in Bogota, as far as I know, we don't have surveillance like CCTV like you have in London, but I'm not sure now. So it's really paranoid thing to think about. So
it's very interesting because some places are very overt about it and you can really see the cameras. Other places are very, very discreet and you don't always know where the cameras are. I don't know what it's like country to country across Latin America, but it'd be interesting to find out.
Yeah. So as a part of the audience, I always enjoy to look for Easter eggs or hidden references before our eyes. So did you leave any of them, or there is maybe a cameo of yourself on the show?
I don't think there's a cameo of myself. No, I don't think so. Easter eggs, yeah, for sure. There are. There's little clues across both series, but they're very, very subtle.
All right.
I'll tell you what there is, which is not, it won't spoil anything because you've seen season 1, but there are sort of very, very, if you look at the front credits, there's very, very subliminal flashes famous instances of disinformation and fake photographs throughout history. I think there's Stalin, and Stalin would take out people from a picture he didn't want in there, and I think there's Mussolini, and there's other famous figures throughout history who have deployed early, very, very rudimentary sort of deep fake technology, which is just as simple as removing someone from a photograph. But it's kind of a way of saying, this has been around ever since photography was invented. Fake photography came along almost immediately afterwards. So we've never really been able to the camera's always lied to us to an extent, but obviously obviously the technology is getting more and more sophisticated.
Great. So I noticed that Holiday Granger's character, Rachel Carey, always wear dark green and blue clothes. Is there a color psychology reason behind it, or is it just part of the character construction?
I'm sure. I wish Haley, our costume designer from season 1, who designed her costume, was here, because she's a brilliant designer. I can't pretend there was some psychological steer from me about that, but all I can say is, when you see a costume, when your costume designer tries different clothes out on your lead actor, you know when it's right. And that coat, we all just fell in love with it, and she designed that coat herself. So that's an original.
Great.
Yeah, she'll always wear it, I think.
Yeah, it's like
it's
part
like a superhero
of the
cape.
character. Yeah, exactly. So in this new season, Rachel Carey faces a larger threat with a non-faced enemy. I get the feeling that she will use like a Trojan horse strategy, if you will, to reveal the truth of correction to the world. So what can you tell us about her character on this season?
So in this season, Carey is under even more pressure than she was in season 1. Season 1, she was investigating a crime. She didn't really know the danger she was getting herself into. By the end of season 1, she's under no illusions that she is entering a world in which the powers that be will kill to protect this secret. So she knows the stakes, and she knows what she's getting herself into. So has every reason to be terrified from the beginning, and she only gets in deeper and deeper trouble throughout.
Okay. So in the show, the deepfake technology is used to create false evidence and sets a context where it's like a weapon to misinform. In terms of the real world, do you believe that this kind of technology can suppose a threat to our safety?
Absolutely. I mean, it's getting the world of the show just gets closer and closer to reality every day, or reality gets closer and closer to the show every day. I mean, you've seen how easy it is to create deep fakes now. People can do it on their phones. I mean, it's in some ways it's almost easier than we show it in the show. So I think the idea that some nefarious groups can create video that misleads the public, and that possibly misleads them towards something destructive like war or an uprising or whatever it is just becomes more and more probable every day, terrifyingly.
Yeah, and I guess that everything can be like a weapon in the wrong hands now. So it is something to think about.
Absolutely.
So I'm very excited for the outcome of this second season with this larger scale threat. Can we expect a third one?
I can't confirm or deny that, I'm afraid, Philippe. I can't confirm or deny. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. So this time is a very, very happy experience for me. I'm very thankful for this opportunity. So Ben, if you can, please invite all the audience in Colombia and Latin America to watch the new season of The Capture, premiering on Lionsgate Plus on April 7th.
Well, I'd be honored if the audience of Colombia and Latin America would join us and watch The Capture season 2.
Well, that's great. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I'm happy to meet you. Looking forward for all your new projects and everything that you have. You have now a fan here in Colombia, so I'm very happy for the show. It's really intriguing. It has mystery. You don't know which one is evil, where you can trust, or who you can trust. So I'm sure people in Colombia will love the show. So thank you, Ben, for creating this kind of series with these topics that are really connected to the technology that we have nowadays. It is really cool to see it.
Well, thank you so much, Philippe. It means an awful lot to me.
Okay, have a great day. Thank you, everyone, and hope you like this intervention. And I'm very happy. Please follow all the social media of Revista Cine and my personal project, Heroes Fortress. So we will see you in another opportunity. Bye-bye.